Hello, this is the story for Diwali. Diwali is a festival of light. There are many other religions that also celebrate with light, when good triumphs over evil, when light triumphs over darkness. So for the Jewish community, Hanukkah is celebrated. For the Muslim community, Eid is celebrated. And for the Hindu community, Diwali is celebrated. And every year they wait for the goddess Lakshmi to come from the heavens to give each household that has lit its windows full with little candles. They wait in hope that the goddess Lakshmi will give them peace and prosperity for the following year. Now, my story takes place a long time ago. There was a king. He was a good king, a wise ruler, but he had married a greedy wife. And the greedy wife every year insisted that she had a new present for Diwali. One year she'd had elephants, but this year she wanted 100 pearls, which she would string on a necklace to go round her neck. And the king had sent out the pearl divers to the oceans, where they dived for pearls, and 100 pearls were gathered, and they were strung on a fine chain and made into the beautiful necklace that would adorn the queen's neck. Well, this Diwali, the day before, when the queen was going to go for a bathe with her handmaidens, she received the necklace. She loved it immediately, and she touched each pearl, 100 pearls, and she looked in the mirror, and she knew she looked like the most beautiful woman in the whole city. Then she wore that pearl necklace down to the river when she went bathing. That was a mistake, wasn't it? Because when she got to the river, she had to disrobe and change into her bathing costume, and she left the pearl necklace on a rock. Well, while she was swimming in the deep river, out of the sky, what should come but a thieving magpie? And magpies are known to love shiny things, and they gather them up in their beaks and take them back to their nests. And this magpie swooped out of the sky, collected the pearl necklace, and disappeared up through the clouds. Well, you can imagine the scene. The queen was beside herself. She had a tantrum. And her handmaidens were equally distressed. Where could the pearl necklace have gone? They had lost something very precious. And the queen went back to the king, and she said, "Husband, you must find my pearl necklace." And the king sighed. He thought, "I have done quite a lot for you this year before Diwali, dear." He made a proclamation, and the proclamation went like this: if somebody could find the pearl necklace and bring it back safely within the day before the night of Diwali, then they would be rewarded tenfold. Well, meantime, across the sky that magpie flew, and it flew far from the rich palace of the king and the queen to the poorer area of the city, to the slums. And as it flew over a little tributary of the great river where the queen had bathed. And at the tributary source there was a poor washerwoman, and she was washing the saris and the napkins. And as she washed, pushing that material through the stones, trying to clean everything in time for Diwali night, the magpie flew over, and from its beak fell that pearl necklace, and the pearl necklace landed in the washerwoman's butt. And the washerwoman looked up and saw something land in her basket. She reached into the basket, And there was the most beautiful thing she'd ever seen. In her roughened hands lay the pearl necklace, 100 perfect pearls. And for a minute she thought to put it around her own neck to see if she looked beautiful as a reflection in the river. But she knew immediately that she was not able to do that. It was not hers to keep or wear. So, with great care, she laid it in her basket. She made sure it was covered up with clothes that were clean and dry. And then she went back to her shack of a house, her poor house. And on the way she passed the well, and she overheard the other women chatting around the well. And they were saying about a proclamation the king had made that day, that he would reward the person who found a pearl necklace 100-fold. And she held the basket tighter to herself, and she knew that in this basket she held the means to make herself richer, to make her family less poor for over a year. And she took that basket with its precious pearls straight to the palace. She made her way through all the slum areas, through the palace gardens, and she got to the palace gates. The guards wouldn't let her in, first of all. They saw how poor she was. They didn't want somebody like that coming in to the palace gardens. But she explained the reason for her visit, and she said, "In my basket I have the pearl necklace." And they let her in through the gates. And the king immediately saw the woman. And he said, "Well, have you found the pearl necklace?" And she said, "Yes, I have." And she put the basket onto the floor, and very carefully she gathered up in both hands the pearl necklace of 100 perfect pearls. And the king was amazed at the woman's honesty, and he took the necklace from her and passed it to his wife, who immediately put it round her neck. And then the king said, "What would you like as a reward?" And the washerwoman thought hard, and she thought about the gold and the silver that he might give her, about the beads that she could wear around her own neck. And then she knew what she wanted. And she said, "I don't want gifts of gold and silver. Within a year they will have gone. What I would like instead is a proclamation that would go out today before the night of Diwali, to say to all the people of your great city not to light one lamp for Lakshmi, that I myself in my poor house would light a single oil lamp to welcome Lakshmi tonight. And then Lakshmi might give me and my family prosperity and hope for many years to come." And the king was amazed at the simplicity of her request and at her honesty. And so he agreed. And the washerwoman went home to her own house. She made ready for Lakshmi. She made sure that the whole house was swept clean. She scrubbed the doorstep. And then she got her single oil lamp ready and put it on the doorstep, ready for the night to fall. And the king, meanwhile, had made the proclamation that spread like wildfire round the city, that nobody on Diwali night was to light a candle for Lakshmi, apart from the washerwoman. And that night, as Lakshmi looked down from the heavens, she could not see any light at all in the great city. She thought, "Have they forgotten me? How am I going to find my way down if I cannot see a light in the city?" She came down from heaven and she stumbled around the streets. She couldn't see a light in the palace and the richer areas of the city. She made her way through to the slums, and then she saw a light on a doorstep. She made her way to the light shining from the single oil lamp. And there was the washerwoman, smiling and praying to Lakshmi. And Lakshmi said, "You are the only one who has remembered me tonight on Diwali night." And the washerwoman said, "I asked the king, and he gave me my request. I have asked the king that Lakshmi would visit me alone above all others in the city, just for the one night. Would you give my family prosperity and hope for many generations to come?" And Lakshmi, seeing the devotion of the washerwoman, seeing that she had only one remaining oil lamp, that she had made her little shack of a house as clean and beautiful as she could, granted her request. And then Lakshmi took that single oil lamp, and with the light from the oil lamp from the washerwoman, took the light back up into the heavens, and she scattered it into the great darkness, and it became the myriad of stars, the Milky Way. And the washerwoman, well, her friends, her family, her children, for many years were happy and prospered. And that is the end of my story for Diwali, about the washerwoman and the necklace of pearls. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.